Yo, 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 yo! This be the BBB. And this week, like no other time in professional wrestling, have I had such an honored guest as this week. And my guest this week is legendary. They can take him from A to Z. And you ain't gonna come up with anybody that compares to my guest. And that guest is none other than Dory Funk Jr. It's a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Funk.
Well, thank you very much, and I want to thank you for asking me to come into your Rumble seat. And it's my pleasure to be here. I know that you manage a great wrestler, and Tony Atlas. He's got a tremendous background, and
now that you touched on that subject, first of all, it's my pleasure to have someone of your caliber. But now you talk about, now I know you've held world titles. You and your brother were the first two brothers to ever hold world titles. Actually, is that correct?
The first brother combination ever to individually hold the World Heavyweight Championship belt. That's true.
An unbelievable feat. And I know a lot of the wrestling fans, there's a lot of brother combinations. And actually, in the IWCCW, we had Vic Steamboat, who his brother Ricky Steamboat held the prestigious NWA title that you held.
Right.
Right. Now, I have to ask this, and I don't want you to think I'm really being a rotten individual, because I really am, but I have to ask this now. How do you compare wrestling of your day, and I know you're still active somewhat, but I mean, in your heyday now, as a kid, now I gotta tell you this, I saw you wrestle Carlos Colon, and that's Carlitos Colon for all them Puerto Ricans out there, in a 1 hour time limit in I think it was the Portland Expo Center, and I know you did it more than once. Now, how do you rate the competition of your day to today's wrestlers?
Well, I'm going to be as honest as I can about that. I think the further along we go, the better training methods that we have, the better nutrition, and it should be on your part too, the managers should take better and better care of the professional athletes. I think all professional athletes of today are a little better than the athletes of the past. But before I go any further, I pride myself on staying in condition, staying up with the latest training methods. And I really believe that I can stick right in there with any of the great wrestlers today. But I do have to give them this. The athletes are better, training methods are better, nutrition is better, and as a whole, I would say the athletes of today are better than the ones of the past.
Wow, now that
I'd say there's no question about it. I have to be honest about that. Yes.
Wow, now you see, now it's been said before in other sports too, but you know, it's still wrestling. It's all the same, you know what I mean? It's like, in football, it's bigger, faster, stronger. Baseball, the guys are hitting the ball farther.
True.
I mean, basketball, they're jumping to the moon. Look at a kid like Michael Jordan now compared to a Bob Cousy. They play the same position. Now, I'm gonna say something that's kind of outrageous. It's like, I don't think, like, in your day, you had a muscle man like an Atlas. Is that correct? Was there anyone of that type of caliber?
I would have to say that there was not a man that looked and had the athletic skills that Tony Atlas has. I've got to say that he's a tremendous athlete. I would like to add just one other little thing, though. I would like myself, because I'm a competitor, and I like to try myself against other people, I'd like to give it a shot at Tony Atlas for his championship belt. But I'd only like to ask one thing. I really don't, and I'm going to be honest with you, because you've been honest.
I'm an honest individual. I tell it like it is, week in and week out on a Rumble seat.
Really don't want to walk in the ring with Tony Atlas knowing that a slimy little rat like you might be standing on the outside ready to take a foreign object and pass it to Tony Atlas, or a hard hat off and hit somebody over the head.
A slimy little rat?
Yeah,
coming from you, that I appreciate. I mean, you don't understand. See, Despicable is my middle name, Mr. Funk.
Right.
And calling me a slimy little rat, it's like, you know, I'm thrilled. I really appreciate that, because
I could think of lots more names to call you, but since this is television,
on that level,
I'll forgo that. Oh yes,
slimy little rat is. You
I
know,
could do a better job of it.
You think? Well, could you? Where you going? Where you go? A slimy. Well, you heard it right there. He told it like it is. The BBB is a slimy little rat, and no matter what you do, no matter where you go, be bad. And remember one thing more: the BBB and the Brotherhood ain't having fun, Jack, till they gotta call 911. Later.
Don't you go away. We'll be right back with more International World Class Championship Wrestling.
Hey dudes, Ray Odyssey here. Like to say a very special hello to Jeannie out in Pismo Beach, Sue out in wherever, who knows, I don't know. But listen, if you want to see me and Gidget come on into town, watch a little of this.
Available on all streaming platforms. It's professional wrestling's greatest, largest, privately owned wrestling library. All the classic hits, flips, slams, and pins of yesteryear are on one place. It's Ultimate Classic Wrestling. Check out the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, a who's who of professional wrestling's greatest spotlight stars ever to grace the squared circle, all in one place. Grab the best seat in the house for memories and mayhem on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
Hello everyone from Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. I'm senior editor Bill Apter. Today a special bulletin. I got a real scoop for you. As you know, several weeks ago I had Dory Funk Jr., the former great NWA champion, on my PWI segment. It's been announced that the IWCCW officials have elected Dory Funk Jr. Commissioner of Wrestling. Dory, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to be here. And I want to say this, during my tenure as a professional wrestler, as the world heavyweight champion, and at times as a wrestling promoter, I have seen some of the best professional wrestling promotions in the country, and have worked for some of the best promoters, among them Sam Mushnick, who was the president of the National Wrestling Alliance. I watched him run his town, St. Louis, with an iron hand.
Absolutely.
He really did a good job. I will be doing much the same here at International World Class Wrestling. And I will be doing my best to see that we have competition in the ring, and competition is allowed to go forth without the interference of people from the outside.
That's what we want to talk about. The people like the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble, and his the Brotherhood, this gang of thieves running in and interfering in matches. What do you propose to do for something like this?
Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with a manager signing a professional wrestler to a contract. That occurs all the time, and nothing can be done about that. But when it comes to interference within an actual wrestling match in the ring, then my opinion is that something should be done, some fines should be levied, some teeth should be put into the law. And I know there are a lot of people that don't want to go along with just exactly the way things should be. But I've seen some promoters put some teeth into their operations in the past, and I feel like that I can put some teeth into international world-class wrestling. Yes.
Right. Well, it looks like law and order may be restored here in the IWCCW. Again, this is a special scoop that I got here. Dory Funk Jr. named Commissioner of International World-Class Championship Wrestling. I'm Bill Apter for Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, and we'll see you at the matches.